Hey everybody, I know it has been a long time since I've been on here, but let me just say, one of the main things that kept me away was basically adulting. So I am going to say that things are great, things are good, but there are some things that can be better. So, one thing that I always hear, when I tell people that I live in Dallas, is like, oh, well, what is it like being in Dallas? What is Dallas like? How is it living in Dallas? And usually, when, people ask me that, it's like I always kind of have a list in my head of, the things that I like and the things that I don't like. And I noticed that a lot of people, who live here, they're like that. It's like you can't really just answer the question. It's like a long list to answer that question. So I came up with my own list. What to expect when moving to Dallas. So if I'm looking off, it's because I'm looking at my paper. So number one, I don't know why this is, but it's been like this. And I've been here for almost 5 years. People in Dallas do not go to Fort Worth. I don't know why. I don't understand it. But people in Fort Worth come to Dallas for work. I don't know what it is about people in Dallas not going to Fort Worth. And the thing is, Fort Worth is a really nice city. And it's very artistic. It's a lot to do there. But people in Dallas don't go. I don't understand that. I really do not understand why that is so. And it's funny, whenever, somebody say, oh, I live in Fort Worth, people in Dallas oh, okay. So I don't get that. Number two. You will experience all 4 seasons in 1 week, sometimes in 1 day. Texas has some really crazy weather, especially Dallas Fort Worth. There was one time, the weather was 75 degrees. It was really nice, beautiful. It went from 75 to 43. I don't know why, but it did. And I did not have not one coat with me. So, of course, I was freezing trying to get to my car. And I had a long way to walk because I was coming from work. So I had to walk to the garage. And then, of course, go down the garage to get to my car. Number 3. You will have geckos in your house. Yes, geckos will come in your house. When I first saw a gecko in my house, it scared the crap out of me because I did not know what it was. I didn't know why it was in there. But yeah, geckos will come in your house. And from what I researched, the reason why they will come in is basically to keep the bugs out, which I guess it's good, but of course, you have pest control if you live in an apartment, or if you own your place, you do whatever to make sure that your house is safe. But like I said, I think it's good that that happens, but at the same time, I'm okay, well, what about the geckos? And it's not like they just stay, but at the same time, it's just really, well, who's gonna get the geckos out of my house? 4. And this is just a pet peeve for me. Traffic is crazy here. Traffic is insane. People, in my opinion, drive really slow here in DFW. They drive slow, and then sometimes they'll just cut in front of you. Just cut in front of you. No signal, no anything. They'll just cut you off. And one other thing that I've noticed is that when you honk at them, there have been people who have almost caused accidents, but when you honk at them, they stick up their middle finger at you when they almost caused the wreck. Which leads me to road rage. There have been like a good number of road rage incidents. I have experienced 2 for myself, to the point where I had to make a police report. And also, yeah, you will, depending on what insurance you have, you will experience rate suckers. Every time I say something about that, people look at me crazy, but I get that from the Progressive commercial when they talked about rate suckers and how when someone has an accident, it makes your rates go up. When I first heard that commercial, I'm like, what? Huh? Really? This happens? But it is really a thing, because my insurance went up, and when I asked the reason why, they were like, oh, well, it's because a lot of accidents have been reported where you live. So because of that, your insurance went up. I was pissed. Okay. I don't like that. I don't know why it's like that, but yeah, that needs to go away. 5, people think the bare minimum or average is luxury. I remember this lady talking about she lived in an exclusive community. So I'm naming all of the places that I know are exclusive. And every place that I named, she was like, ooh, no, ooh, really? Really? And so I'm like, okay, well, I named like a lot of places, you know, that are considered exclusive, and you have said no to like every last one. So where exactly do you live? And the area where she said that she lived was not exclusive at all. It was like, it was not luxury. It was not luxury. It was not exclusive. It was like kind of a bad area. But in her mind, she thought that was exclusive. And then like the places where, you know, people said were exclusive, I'm like, yeah, no. Don't get me wrong, there are some great places here, but, you know, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like some people here don't really know what luxury is. That's a weird thing to me. 6, everyone in Dallas is like really cliquish, in my opinion. Like, there are some really cliquish people in Dallas. Now in Fort Worth, it's not like that. Everybody there is really nice, really sweet, really humble. And like, I'm not the type of person who just like goes around and just speaks to people. Like, I just don't do that. But like, that's one thing that I noticed about going to Fort Worth, or in the areas that are considered Fort Worth. Like, everybody in that area is just really like, they're really nice. And it's like when you get to Dallas, it's kind of like, you know, you got to look a certain way, or you got to act a certain way in order for people to say anything to you. I just think that's weird. 7, and I already know I'm going to get like some bad feedback on here. In my opinion, the barbecue is not good here. Like, it took me like 4 years to finally find a barbecue spot. And that was in an area that's considered Fort Worth. For DFW or for Texas to be known for barbecue, like, I haven't experienced it yet. I'm from Mississippi. I'm originally from Mississippi, and like, I know good barbecue. And like I said, it took me a while to finally find okay barbecue here. Like, the place where I go to, like, his place is really good, but I've experienced better back home, just being honest. 8. So I'm a fashion designer, so of course I'm always looking at fashion. I'm always looking at art. I'm always looking for creative things. And it's like sometimes I have to search for those creative things and in those creative places. Like it took me a while to like find those things, and I noticed that Fort Worth has a little bit more creative spots than Dallas. Like Dallas is only 2 spots that I know of, well 3. But it's like with Fort Worth, you find more. You find more things. As far as designers, like there are some really good designers here. And I'm including myself in that. But I also noticed that most designers, they really go for neutral colors, which is like black, white, and brown. And I notice most people like tend to stay with black and white. I don't know why that is. And it's funny because like in my collections, I'm known for color. Like I put a lot of color in stuff. But lately, I have been gravitating towards black. They're rubbing off on me. Another thing that kind of ticks me off, and it's just I just don't like this. You know how the saying goes, it's not what you know, but who you know. Well, here, when it comes to like certain things, especially like within fashion and art, they have the saying, it's not what you know or who you know, but who knows you. And one thing that I have noticed is that when it comes to designers, when it comes to models, when it comes to photographers, if they don't know you, they're not going to use you. Like I know of people who will use the same models, or they will use the same people over their fashion shows instead of just experiencing new. And like one thing about me is that I always like experience new things. You know, I like to use new people just to give them that chance. But that's like one thing that just kind of, I've always kind of had a problem with that. You know, when, you know, somebody say, oh, I'm looking for somebody with this. And if somebody says the name of a person that they don't know, they're like, oh, okay. So those are just my opinions on stuff. Like I've been here, it will be 5 years in July that I've been here. And I like it here. You know, I've been here for this long and I'm not trying to move anywhere. You know, I'm not trying to move anywhere anytime soon. One thing that I know that I have to do is just, I have to brand myself here. But like I said, those are the things that, you know, I've experienced since being here in Dallas, Fort Worth. And, it's been an adventure. Let me just put it that way. It's been an adventure, but I love the people that I met here. The things that I've experienced here, I love it. So, if you are thinking of coming here, we have plenty of room. It is very, like, a lot of room here. Like, one thing that I will say is that it is very spaced out to the point where sometimes you have to search for different people and you have to search in different areas until you find the right area. So that's all I have to say, and I'll talk to you later.